Ooh, what's going on? The last investigation. Day 3. Let's investigate. Let's go. If I don't have a solid, for sure suspect by the end of this investigation, I give up. I'm just kidding. But, like, I should. I better not, like, find out who it is, like, at the end of the last trial. No, sir. I need to have someone today. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Oh yeah, she said, drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Borderline confessed. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened. What does that mean? What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. See, her voice, I don't, like, it takes me a second to get her voice again. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, that's a tongue twister. Fat tongue. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? He's terrifying. On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Huh? What? He tried to kill you? Whoa. I was about to say, that wasn't the other way around. That was Neil standing over Joe Dark. I haven't even been recording for 3 minutes and this is heat. Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Yep, just like in the opening of this episode. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Just like the Faye sisters, right? Then suddenly... You're telling me, like, he's an action man, too? He just pulls up on you? Like, he doesn't wait for you to come to him? Type of shit? Golly. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from Oh. Okay, it seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. Okay. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Okay, Neil. Yep, Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. Golly. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... What happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. And... what I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I want to skip this. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only able to ask about when I was attacked. I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why I'm trying to, like, I'm not in a rush, but, like, it is rather late. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Oh, did he know? Oh. So you're telling me he gets shit for this? But like he's not the actual one that started it? That's trash. Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. This is a... Man. When is Ace Attorney becoming like a series? All these games need to become a TV adaptation in some way. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. Kinda. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did. Especially not to Emma. Yeah, what's the picture? So what did you see in that instant the crime occurred? Wait, what? Is that Joe Dark? What is up with that haircut? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Was he, though? I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. Oh, you fainted. This track is fire. It's funny. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. Golly. You okay? That's deep. Oh my gosh, if that's not the thumbnail right there. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but can I have it? But it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? That's what I'm saying, like how long was that chase going on for? Oh, there's no mystery there. Your haircut is whack. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. As in the prosecutor office building? Which is like 30 minutes away from the police department? But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Okay, fine. Across from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. How did I not see that? Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Executive investigators Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Okay. I for sure missed that. Okay. She was the best in the entire force. What? Not. What? That's news to me. It's news to me as well. I totally skipped over that because I was so hype over Neil Marshall's name being in the victims page. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Ooh. That seems dirty or like slick. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Can we? She really hasn't been like, you know, cooperative. Yeah? It's been a while since I played this. Yes. It's 24th. Hi, Lana. Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. You're aware of it. That makes me more upset. You're falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Don't fight fire with fire? Okay, I feel you, I guess. But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, please? Especially about the unusual change of jobs? Like, detectives just don't become prosecutors, yeah? I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright. Then tell me about it. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Okay, so, like, I'm kind of getting the idea that she was given an opportunity. Not necessarily like an ultimatum, but kind of like, hey, if you do this, you'll get this. You know, not necessarily like you lose anything or I'll do anything to you, but like, hey, if you want this, just do this for me. Damon Gant, bruh. I guarantee you Gant is like the head honcho on everything here. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department, which I'm so upset that we had to spend an entire trial day doing. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. What is that, dude? She has pictures. She's being set up, and I'm upset. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Excuse me. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! David Gant looks like a Pokemon. They still talk about all the... Wait. Oh, they still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the Cape crime siege. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After all, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. What did I say? Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago, huh? 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. First one being Gant. Second in command. That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. Even had the same office. Ooh. I'm getting tired already. Doing these voices is like a bit draining. I need coffee. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. It's the crew. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Up against this man, without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma, right? Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Fuck, now you tell us, bruh. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the offices shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. Why would he come for you? Does he even know who you are? So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. What the fuck is that? What is that? Wait. I'm confused. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. What? Who? Wait. Okay, I think the guy on the bottom is Joe Dark, because you can see his hella, like, cheekbones. And the dude on top, I'm pretty sure, is Neil, because he's wearing a vest. And he's the only one else that got killed. 2 dead and 1 fainted, because the other is, Emma. 3 bodies. Yeah, Emma Rowe. Yep. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim. Emma, who had passed out. And then suspect Joe Dark. What I'm confused. Hold up. Wait. What I'm confused about is if Dark is on the bottom, but Neil is on top with a knife in his back. Who the hell killed Neil? Because it sure as hell wasn't Joe Dark. This is Gant. This shit has Gant written all over it. That or Emma accidentally killed Neil Marshall. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. Okay. I get ahead of myself way too easily. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room and just held her. I can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Oh, because he got executed. That's right, he wasn't dead. What, did Joe Dark hug Neil Marshall or something and stab him in the back? I'm confused. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, hmm? Ooh. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. No, sir. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Jake Marshall, your boy. That man Marshall. Officer Marshall. Yes. His actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Let's get it. Exclamation point. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Yes, because there's nothing else to talk to you about. Yes, sir. I know where I'm at, bro. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Damn. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. Chief of Detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Hold up, wait. Can I talk to the Chief of Detectives? What's up? That man must be the Chief of Detectives. He's staring at the screen so hard it might shatter. What? Dark case may have been fabricated? That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. There's a guy who cares about his work. Alright, fine. 24th Police Department. Oh, howdy, Bambina. Officer Marshall, or Mr. Marshall. Never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning, huh? Okay, Sarah. You never know where life will lead you, hey, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must have been his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prosecutors head west? My throat hurts. I feel like one of my lymph nodes, ow. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Let's get it. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All of the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. Huh? However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibly had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. Let's get it. Hold on. Yo, that's Sean and Daniel, low-key. That is, like, dangerously, like, spot on. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. Yeah. Excuse me. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm just kidding. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was a thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Officer Meekins! Detective Goodman was murdered. The evidence locker was empty. Oh, he means that. Who the hell would have done that? Gant. Everything points to Gant now. No one else is suspect. Except Angel Star. She seems oddly like not the center of attention anymore. She was for a hot second, but not anymore. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in the investigations, save one, was taken care of. Yep. Except Neil, LMAO. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would have got suspicious. Nope. They were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? The prosecutors. Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Oh, so like the head investigators, not the prosecutors. At that point, it would be Edgeworth. The investigation lead Damon Gant and his second-in-command Lana Skye. That's that's cold. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yep. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she's left. Question mark? Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. She's been saying that. That makes sense. So like it's a known thing, it's not just a personal issue. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret? It all started 2 years ago. Go. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. We got him. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Whoa! He said the whole flask. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Wow. Did we really just say goodbye to Jake Marshall, bro? I'm sad, honestly. I honestly don't care what those officers are talking about anymore. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't think I can come back here so soon. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Yeah, it's almost like there's always only 2 people here. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Oh, that was the chief of detectives. Oh, if you're looking for everybody else, they're in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying that she did... Oh, wait. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually we use for these. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can't go in there, it's off limits. I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's just head to the chief's office. What? Alright, bro. Holy f***. You're not telling me, like, look at look at Gant, like, posting up in that picture. I'm dead. He's doing the head to do it to him. I'm happy. The organ track finally makes sense. I get it now. Never mind, the music is not ominous anymore. Whoa. Where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. What did I call it? Did I call it organ? I forget. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Okay, I get it, bro. I never could remember where C was. He's like, who the hell touched my organ? Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. What is that? That? I was gonna say that looks like, the evidence room, check-in list. Yes? So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't, because I kinda saw you yesterday, and I've been busy ever since then, and I have had no time to swim. Yes, I've been busy. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, you know, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies, yes. See that big picture on the wall over there? I just had to do it to him. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. At least he knows to, like, put himself last, you know? I don't like how shiny that knife is. To the right. I don't like that. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. What? Wait, what? Oh, shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where's the, sword? I was gonna say, the trophy did look off a little bit. Where's that sword? Why is that sword there? I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Photo at the award ceremony of Gant, Lana, and Neil. Okay. Oh, the vase in the back! It's the vase! Wait. Was that not the vase? Ooh. Okay. Okay, so wait. This picture shows a lot. That vase is evidence. I guarantee you that knife, just because it's in that glowy aura, was actually the murder weapon for Neil. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just keep going. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore, guys. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Righto.
Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. You are scary. He took us to the curb. I'm frightened. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there, huh? You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we get inside the chief's office. Sneak it through the window. Alright. Okay. Hey, it's Gumshoe. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. It's always nice to see you. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting, actually? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually. From serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. We do get heated in trials, I agree. Oh shit. I've accidentally been recording with, like, I think, display capture this whole time. Whoopsies. Instead of, oh fuck, I didn't read that. That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now, Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Alright. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye's the guilty party here, isn't she? Oh, shut up. Like, you're right. It's facts. Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Okay, that makes sense. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this... Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth has not only has that, huh? But he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm not careful to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? That picture is still freaky, bro. Me? Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. I like that sprite of hers. Huh? Present. Oh, from the SL9 incident? It's this. About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of? What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. Which I'm still... That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Oh, sick. See, I opened up another one. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. No, he was a serial killer. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? He's American Psycho. One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? Did you read all of that? Jesus Christ. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Or it seems like he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. You're telling me this man just went and murdered people out in the street? Like, consistently, and no one saw nothing? No testimonies, no witnesses, no evidence? No, like, security camera footage anywhere? This dude was clean. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. I'm still confused. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness, aka Emma. Wait, this knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? Oh, don't hit your head like that.
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken tip... Huh? Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found.
In Neil's back.
That's what did him in.
Where was it? I was kidding, bro. Come on.
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Exclamation point?
It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Ooh. Did it match Dark's knife?
No.
Look how big that shit is. And gee, it kind of looks like that a little bit, doesn't it? Kind of.
You bet. Down to the last fiber.
But didn't Jake just say earlier that, like, it wasn't? I gotta remember that. That's pretty conclusive. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was found in the wound. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, the switchblade tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to the murderer, Joe Dark. Okay.
Well, there you have it, in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. I can't talk. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
I believe that should be changed. What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. Huh?
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh, they're very on top of things, huh? Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. Fuck. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
I'll keep it sheesh. Yeah, okay, right. I'll keep it sheesh. What the I believe I have to go talk to somebody else. Yeah, let me show you this picture, bro. Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside. It's just a picture. Like, it's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. She really means it. Lana! Jesus Christ, bro. Angel Star, I would love to talk to you, to be honest. You still here handing out lunches? I'm hungry. It's like this game knows what I'm talking about. No one's here today. Not even Miss Star. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room.
Hello?
That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room. Like, at all.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. I sprayed everything, yes. But we will spray again. Yes. Oh yeah, can we look at this again? Like, we kind of talked about it, but not really. This blood must be from when Lana...
No, my sister isn't the murderer.
But she did call you, didn't she, at the time of the crime? Hey, just sorry, it's something to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's hand blood had... Huh? It just keeps getting worse. Okay. Okay. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. He looks like he's writing something.
Jesus Christ. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Yeah? Yeah? Move. Move. Tough day in court, huh? Huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Can you relax? First of all, give me that. I wonder if he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
You're crazy? He's right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh shit, look, he's falling. Hold on. First, let me see what that girl is doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look, bro. What is that? Letter of what? If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation? I want you to be in the next few games. I don't know. No. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Gumshoe! That's terrible, but I'm gonna do it. He's serious. Yeah. No, God, it's been a while since that happened. Oh, so much talking. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't, did you? I mean, that evidence was falsified. That the evidence, like, you understand. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Excuse me.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up.
He's gonna cry. We're gonna see a crying Edgeworth sprite. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? Oof. First, last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
That sounded funny. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. What is that? Because that is exactly what, Gant had in his office. What is that? What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Give me that. Give me that right now. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That's odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
At the time? Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture. Something seems strange about it. Yes, Brew. Can you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out.
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on a ceremony.
I finished up at the office in the morning and then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
Yeah, that screwdriver? Yep. This.
Oh yeah! Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Wait. Why did Wright just kind of like do that? I'm not getting it if he's onto something. That's funny. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Why is his trophy different from yours? Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than the one for... It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind this design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Like, they say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you were doing...
Oh, fuck. I can't read. Mad dyslexic. I've always had my own decisions about what I can do, what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Sometimes you need help, I'll be honest. Oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Yep, I can. I sure can, bro. Oh, there we go. I didn't think I could talk to him about that. Sorry. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure, yeah, everyone knows that. You can tell it though, you know, for like Emma's sake, yeah? Very well. Shit. Oh, sick, bro. Steel Samurai? Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, this is heat. Wait, those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. That's fire. That kind of scared the shit out of me a little bit.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at his loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why was there only given a shield? Then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Oh my gosh. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. I'm not gonna remember this. I'm tired. I feel like going to bed already. How many? Oh my gosh, dude. I have like almost 4 pages of evidence. Yes, bro. Excuse me. Yep, I knew it. Oh, hell yeah, actually, please. I'm actually hungry. I might stop recording, go eat, and then go to bed. Alright. Back.
Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef?
The star. I guess she's out of lunches. True, that doesn't, like, I really didn't think about that.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness.
That doesn't matter anymore. Forget about it. Like, you're trying to do something here, you know? You got fired. If anything, this is all you. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with the knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. She got fired. It makes sense to me. Doo-doo. You want to talk about it?
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. He must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. After seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Oh, Lana?
Lana Skye. My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo.
Ugh. That's a dope picture, I swear.
Lana and Chief Gant.
Okay.
That legendary pair was the reason that we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence, and you getting fired, and Jake Marshall getting demoted? Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while the other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. Exclamation point! After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties.
Oh, save Goodman. Okay, that's just an odd way of saying, like, accept Goodman, I guess. What are those called? Thesauruses?
Most without even so much as an explanation. Then, Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh?
It's been a while since someone said, huh?
Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter, yeah?
Oh, okay. So this is kind of even more evidence that Gant might have been behind the whole thing. Because imagine this, right? Let's say, like, the legendary duo, Lana Skye and Damon Gant, right? They both solved this shit, like, easy peasy, like, everything's, like, flawless, right? Except it was, but no one else knew that. All of a sudden, Gant gets promoted to chief of police, and Lana Skye gets promoted to chief prosecutor? What? Okay. Let's get it.
She was being used.
Oh my gosh, so much talking. I almost forget what I played this morning. That was only like 10 hours ago.
Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
Duh.
Gant led the investigation, with Alana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he'd handled.
Incredible evidence? You mean...
Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though.
I wouldn't. You see how huge he is? He works out.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Exclamation point, really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother.
Oh my gosh. This is like the deepest episode yet. Like, Edgeworth's trial was pretty cool. Or like pretty emotional. Had some deep cuts with his father and everything. And Von Karma. But this shit's like... This feels dumb personal for like multiple people.
If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all more infuriating, huh? My tongue went everywhere when I said that. Miss Starr! That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? ...
Okay, she was being used? What do you mean? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence.
Clout?
Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured.
My theories, they're good.
There was only one thing left for him to control, was it? And then no one could stand in his way.
What is it?
The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? Oh, she is under his thumb. Oh, a little bit, maybe.
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office.
Ooh.
That must have been his goal all along.
Why are we just now finding out about this? Tell me this earlier.
But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Only because people are finally opening up now. If they open up from the beginning, this wouldn't be the longest episode in Ace Attorney. Thank you, Miss Star. Golly, it's about time you started talking to me. Your whack testimony the first trial. Get out of here.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
What are you talking about? You got some fire lunches. What do you got to say about this, though? Okay. I hear you.
Miss Star! The only thing I can give you now is a poppy seed rice set.
Can you?
No, yeah. Eat this, and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court today.
She didn't even give me anything. Where the hell do we move now, then? No. Yes. Okay, yes. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. I did not even think that. She wrote that shit down. That's right. I need to do that, like, when I start playing Ace Attorney 2. Like, this last episode, for some reason, like, I'm remembering shit better, but I'm afraid once I start the second game, I'm gonna forget everything. They only get harder from here on out. If Danganronpa taught me anything, it's that.
Oh, that DJ.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no.
Question mark?
I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. It'd be my neck on the line.
That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
There sure is. Hello. Hello. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? He's about to start crying. No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? Think about it. I can't believe they've pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with the sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective?
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But...
Here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out...
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated, huh? What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. All right, detective. Thank you. What's his ID number? 777777? A police department ID allows access to areas of the police department open to detectives, which is Gant's office. And the evidence room, I guess. I don't think there's any reason to go back in there, though.
Detective Gumshoe isn't very photogenic, is he?
Don't flame him. Whatever you do, just don't say that to his face.
Look, his eyes are half shut.
What are you talking about? Yeah, and his mouth is half open. No, it's not. Relax. Man. Stop. So what's his ID number? Okay, so Neil Marshall died February 19th, which was a little over 2 years ago. Between 7 and 7:30. A single stab wound piercing heart and lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Missing tip? Excuse me. Alright, let's go back to the chief's office. Okay.
Here goes, Mr. Wright.
Ooh, it worked. Sick. Ooh, he has a safe. I didn't notice that.
We're in. If anyone finds us now...
Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Yeah, he's coming with us. That's right. He says, we all go down together. She hit him again.
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Again.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. This happened already. Detective Gumshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? Again. I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go down. Or go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in you giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Is it just paper? If it's, like, plastic, you can't crush an ID... Whatever. Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever got a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. That's what I just said.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Nope, examine. What is this safe? What is that? This is a... safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so.
It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
I'm just gonna go on a whim, bruh. Do you know what it is? I bet I do. I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date. It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Are you ready? Oh, I thought I could just type it in on my computer. Oh man. For sure. I knew it. I knew it, bro. Bingo.
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was it, pal? Zup, 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 zup. The final ID card number on that record. He even chose the same reason. Wow, okay, Capcom. Good thinking.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean... That ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. Who's counting, though? This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Yes? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's a...
Oh! What does that mean, actually? Are those blood splatters, or is that like a word? You see how it kind of forms like an E and maybe an A or an F? A shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? Can I put it back together? I have the vase. Emma, can we, like, put it back together, please?
There's something else in here, too.
Whoa, whoa! A leather cloth. Is that from, like, Neil's jacket, maybe? Hello? What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. Those are hella fingerprints. Can we dust?
This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? Is that all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence, because they are. Yeah, but useless. But unless you can prove that unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to them. To get them, how are these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective.
Yeah, there is. There is, bro. Present. Where's the thing at? Yeah, here we go. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 sticker on it. Doesn't that ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Exclamation point. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Yeah. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what no rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
Pieces together again and the proof Gigant was knowingly hiding evidence. Hell yeah, here goes. Yes. Nope, my bad. I'm an idiot, bro. Does that necessarily spell anything? I'll be right back. Bro! Chief Gant is hiding evidence, bro. There. It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe.
Exclamation point!
In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But...
Hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That's blood. It's all blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. Unstable jar update. Unstable jar. Can we spray? Like...
Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
Looks like blood.
This piece the chief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other jars are just spots.
Okay, so they do acknowledge that the other parts are blood. Thank God. I'm going mad.
But this one's a line.
That's odd. What is it, like characters or something? I don't know. Wait. Wait, what about that cloth? Okay, how do I prove that the cloth is also a thing as well? Here, let me just present him with this. If I'm fired, I won't be able to give you any information. So that's why I have to get all of it out of my system now. You understand, don't you?
Don't be so negative, Detective. What do you want to share your information, though?
We do want to share your information, though. Oh, who am I fooling? I never had anything useful to share to begin with.
Got to stay positive.
Okay, that was it. Yeah, let's talk. Okay. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Who are you talking to? I was gonna say, why are you talking to him?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day, 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now? It looks like it. No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. How convenient. There's a strange reason to leave it here. There. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think? Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Now then, let's take a look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you, don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. I do.
Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect?
I think he's the only suspect at this point. Who else could it be? You? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
I'm not afraid to point fingers at this point.
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. That smile is too, like, what do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. He scared me at first, but now he's enemy number one.
There you go. Ignoring me again.
Okay. Yeah, this is in the picture. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons.
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Shh. Be careful what you say. Who knows, the chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there. You see his big buff ass? And those skinny arms? Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
The chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally, we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department.
That's the one on the 2nd floor, and this is on the 15th floor of an entirely different building.
When a detective screws up, the chief calls them to his office and makes them listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul, huh?
After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except the ringing in their ears.
He gives them tinnitus? So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's the picture. We'll look at it anyway. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. Golly. I'm trying to see, like, what is there anything else that's, like, kind of off about this picture? No?
After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, think?
Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside.
On the 15th floor?
I know. I was just saying.
Saying what?
Ever since making Detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that.
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So as long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that! Shit. These are Apple products. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. The cleaning lady. Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her, or in the memory of the crime? I wonder. Oh, the mark on the floor? This mark looks like some kind of flower.
Word is, it's designed after the insignia on the prosecutor's badge.
Prosecutor's badge?
Yeah, like the one hanging from your collar.
What? They have badges too?
The design's supposed to portray the severity of the punishment system.
Now that you mention it, it does look all pointy and kind of painful. But Mr. Edgeworth never wears a badge.
That's because he's a sharp dresser. A badge like that wouldn't go too well with his outfit.
So sharp dressers don't need to wear badges?
I guess everyone's just kinda let it slide, huh?
I don't see how that's supposed to signify severe punishment. Yeah, in fact, it's quite the opposite, huh? Golly, am I supposed to be looking at all this stuff? Or, like, these shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Yep, I see it. Looks like a flower. Hey, this is when Lana and I went to that theme park. Oh, shit, okay. Oh, the phone? Shit. Sorry. His desk. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, that's right, he slid something into a drawer? Chief Gant. Yeah, he put that piece of paper back in his reading desk. Yes, let's go. I completely forgot about that. That was this morning. Like, I'm okay. I wonder what he was reading. That looks exactly like the piece of paper that Edgeworth was looking at, and he said that's a list of evidence. Yes, oh my god, I was like looking away when I just said that, okay? A list of evidence.
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about the evidence lists. Normally, they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-sized list of evidence. The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long, twice as long, twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here?
Oh, I didn't think that. My dumbass thought it was a copy.
I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so.
List of evidence in the SL9 incident was ripped in half, so this... See, the picture doesn't say it was ripped in half. Like, that's trash. Can I look at it, please? Can I look at it, please?
NANI?!
Oh! No way! This is the drawing! Emma said she drew it! No way, brother! Emma, is this you? What is this? It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving around like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. I'm gonna forget about that picture. Real talk. Can I not? Jeez, what else is there to look at? You can see pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor from here...
At first, the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window.
Really? Why didn't he?
They saw he changed his mind because it wouldn't be able to see the view.
Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. Bro, is that it? Like, what else is there to look at in here? I think that's it, bruh. Can I talk to you about anything else? Actually? No. What the heck is that symbol? Blood traces? Can I not spray it then? Speaking of spraying, why have I not been doing that? I'm in this man's office. I'm gonna find something, sir. Oh my! From 2 years ago? Whoa! This area must have been covered in blood. Is this from that incident? It must be, when Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. 2 years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull. So a murder really did take place here. Yeah. Yeah. Is that it? Really? Like, shit. I can't look. I'd like to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is, so you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take, huh? Come on. Oh my gosh. You know what? You know what? Forget it. I realized my mistake. Let's go. We're talking about that cloth. Yeah, whatever. I guess... Yep. I realized my mistake. I've been kind of just... We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right?
See, I thought I had to select it first. I didn't know I actually had to go and select the thing. Okay. Move on.
Sheesh. Where's your sense of humor?
Alright, this is Gant, for real. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check out for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed in the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told 1,000,000 times. God. Alright, let's get this over with. Oh, I had to select one. I was really just about to dust the entire cloth. Would have been easier, to be honest. Ooh, we got one. A little bit. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a cleaner result from this point. Okay, let's try a different finger then. You know what? This middle one kind of looks good. Aha! Let's get it. Okay. It is not Damon Gant. That is surprising, actually. Oh, okay. Okay. Emma, can you please explain what your fingerprints are doing on this cloth? Pretty please. Pretty please. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't, you know, clear enough. Hold on. Yeah. Let me just, you know, shove this back in my pocket. You know? Not enough evidence. It's okay. It's okay. You know? Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Yeah, I thought Gant. Psst. Hey, you. Over here. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now, alright? Here. Maybe you should hold on to this. Found in Chief Gant's safe evidence for something, but what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. Bruh. Well, was I any help? Of course. God, that took me too long. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to find some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Eek! Chief Gant. We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I am a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Do you mean me, sir? Their voices are the same, pretty much. Just like how, like, what was it? On Family Guy, Lois's father and, like, the doctor basically have the same voice. That's pretty much this. Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But sir. Now get out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, see, they're kind of different. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Ooh. Don't go yet. But me, sir? I'd like a word with you. That's creepy. But sir, I'm not a licensed investigator. You with the spiky hair. You're free to go. Mr. Wright! Dude, she's about to disappear. Emma! Look, pal. If I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Yeah, see, if they're both in the same room, they kind of get mixed the same voice, which is like a mix of both of them. But if I just see him, I kind of get it. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day.
Shit. You need to start talking right now. Okay?
I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. You need to start talking to me! Now! What you've told me over these past couple days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really, I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I'm confused. I just, oh my, I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Exclamation point? It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Thank God! I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think you're afraid of this person. I was right, she's under somebody's thumb, bro. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Yeah? Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Oh my god, okay, we were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Hiding. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant. Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Gant falsified evidence in that case. I just found this in a safe in Chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Ooh, wait, if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not?
I think I know what's going on here. I think I know what's going on here. I think. I don't know. Let's see though. I'll say it after the to be continued. Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Being told what to do. Not, like, going along with what to do. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Blackmail. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes. You were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken. Yeah. And I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon. Yep, Edgeworth's knife. Yep. No. No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. Whoa! So you're saying she took that shit out, replaced it with Edgeworth's knife, which is just found in his trunk, wrapped the switchblade and shoved it in the muffler. Or the exhaust pipe, or whatever. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. But he was dead, so it's okay. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in him. Oh my... like that, though? She was upset. Miss Starr. Huh. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. It's not funny, it's not funny. Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. I need to talk to you again. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. That's why he was in the evidence room at 5:15!
Oh my god.
However, it seems that after I spoke with him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. Yup. Fuck. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Fuck. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago.
I'm a little confused, honestly. Okay, so my thinking is, okay, Emma's not bullshitting. Emma is telling the truth. She even drew a picture. So Joe Dark isn't questioning. He leaves midway through questioning. Somehow, like, hauls it up to the prosecutor's office, comes bursting through the door. So he goes after Emma. Neil Marshall comes bursting in and takes your boy down. Now, like, they scuffle a little bit, right? It's raining, it's thundering that night. Something gets broken, the vase gets broken, and there's a piece of cloth that has a fingerprint on it that's Emma's. Now, my thinking is, did Emma Skye stab Neil Marshall? She can. She would have been 14, so I think she would have been too young to prosecute. But here's why I think that. If Emma Skye stabbed Neil Marshall accidentally, that would mean that Gant can turn to Lana and be like, if you don't want anybody finding out about this, you gotta do what I say. As in, like, I'll give you the chief prosecutor's office, but you do what I say when I say it. That's why he's got this whole, like, energy of, like, did you not hear me? Like, you must have not heard me. Like, I told you to do this. I feel like that's what it was. I feel like Emma Skye accidentally killed Neil Marshall. Damon Gant was like, everybody's staying quiet about this, especially you, Lana Skye. Chief prosecutor? My chief prosecutor? Absolutely. And he gets to be the chief of police. But who killed Goodman? Gant. Gant for sure killed Goodman. For sure. It's a trial former, which means there's 2 more videos left. There's a trial former and a trial ladder. Along with this, I'm going to continue the Ace Attorney series, so I'm going to start the second one shortly after this one, because I'm just now getting back into Ace Attorney and I don't want to take a break again. I am playing Control, and I also have to find another series to replace Infamous, which I just finished, so if you haven't checked out my previous Infamous playthroughs, please go check those out under the playlist tab on my channel. And that's kind of what's going on my YouTube. Over on my Twitch, I am streaming my Grounded playthrough for The Last of Us, my 100% playthrough for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Death Stranding. I haven't streamed in a bit, but I don't have a lot of time to, so I just kind of stream over there whenever I can. But that's what's going on both my channels. If you're interested in any of that, please consider subscribing here on YouTube and following me over at Twitch with the link in the description. If you liked the video and you want to see more Ace Attorney by your boy, you know, consider leaving a thumbs up, a comment on what you think of this episode as a whole, and or share it with your friends, families, your social medias, strangers, whatever, man. I don't care. Thank you for watching, and, you know, have a good day, you know. Bye.